Hello everyone, and I hope that you're well. So today we are going to make beingan, which is in English is aubergine. So it's like an aubergine curry, but there's so many different ways you can prepare aubergine. So we'll be preparing so many more recipes in the future. But for today's video, we were just going to do a very simple aubergine curry, and you can have this with some rice. So let's start with what we'll be needing for this aubergine curry. So today's ingredients, I'm going to be using two medium-sized aubergines, one medium-sized onion. I'll also be using about a teaspoon of garlic, which I'm going to chop finely. I'll show you how to do that in a bit. About 3 green chilies, some fresh coriander leaves to garnish. And in terms of spices, I've got a little bit of cinnamon stick, 3 cardamom pods, a teaspoon of salt, and the powdered spice we have half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of cumin powder, half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, half a teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of red chilli powder, and 1 teaspoon of cumin powder. So let me bring you up to scratch with what I've been doing to prepare this recipe. So I've cut the 2 aubergines into sort of smallish chunk-sized pieces. And I've also prepared the garlic into fine thin slithers. This is about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. I've done similar with the fresh coriander and the green chilies, and I've also prepared my onion like this, which is into small sort of pieces as well. So now that that's all done, I can now start to season the aubergine. So I'm just going to take literally half a teaspoon of salt, and I'm just going to gently coat the top of it. This will just help to retain the aubergine's colour and just sort of help it absorb some nice flavour as well. Okay, let's get straight in with the cooking. So I've just had a little bit of oil, enough to sort of cover my pan, the bottom of the pan, for a few minutes just on a medium heat so it's nice and hot. So I'm now going to go in with the cumin seeds and let them sizzle. It's important that they will only take about 10 seconds. Once they're nicely sizzling, and you can really smell that lovely cumin aroma, I'm then going to go straight in with the onion, just so that they don't burn. As you can see, the onions and cumin seeds are frying nicely. So what basically happens is the water content from the onions allows the cumin seeds not to burn. So it's important to fry them just to release a little bit of flavour beforehand. But then after just a few seconds, add those onions just so they don't burn. The onions have gone a nice golden colour, which I'm really happy with. So let's now add a couple more ingredients. So I've got the garlic, which I'm going to add now. And a couple of whole spice ingredients, which is the cardamom pods and the cinnamon stick. So I'm just going to stir those together. Just to let you know that I've also had the kettle boiling, so I've got some boiling water ready once I need it as well. It smells lovely. So it's been about 30 seconds or so, and I'm just going to now add some of the powdered spice. So I have the turmeric here, and the chilli powder, the coriander powder and cumin powder as well. Just going to give that a little stir. Just fry this for a few seconds, and then I've got my boiling water ready just to make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom and start burning. So just a splash going in. Look at that lovely colour. Okay, so just to let you know what this sort of technical term is called in Urdu, it's called bunna. And basically it's the process of frying the spices and then adding that splash of water, and it just allows them to blend really nicely and cook through, and this is how you develop a really nice masala. And what you're now looking for is for the water and the oil to separate, so the oil to separate from the water, and it's you can see that the water has reduced quite a lot. There's not as much as we started with. And it's just been frying probably for about a minute or so to get to this process. But this is really nice. This will be a really nice flavoured masala now, ready to then add our aubergine. I just want to add one little point just before I add the aubergine. When you're doing the frying of all the spices, don't let the masala dry out too much. It's alright to just keep adding a splash of water just at the bottom, just so that it keeps blending well together. Okay, so let's now add our aubergine. I'm just going to give this a little stir, just to kind of help the aubergine absorb some of that nice spice and flavour. So the aubergine has gained some really nice colour from that spice, and it's all mixed well. I'm now going to turn this down to a low heat so that can cook steadily. So it's really important when adding the water to cook the aubergine that you remember that the aubergine has a lot of water content already in it, and it will release that as it's being cooked. So it's important not to overcook it with too much water. So I'm just going to take the boiling water again and add probably just about halfway before it's the whole aubergine is covered. So you can have a little look how much I've added, just to sort of make sure that you don't overcook it, and obviously get a really, you're going to have to reduce a lot of that water as well if you sort of put too much at this stage. But I will add salt as well now. So this is the 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to now give it a mix. And then I'll be leaving this to cook on a low heat with the lid on. There we go. Okay, so I thought I would just soak my rice ready for the aubergine. I like to have this particular aubergine with some rice. So I'm just measuring out 1 cup, and I'm just going to soak this until the time I need to prepare it. and cover it with some water. So also what else I'm having with this dish today is yogurt. I think that this particular aubergine is best prepared with yogurt. So I'll have the aubergine curry, the rice and the yogurt on the side. You could also add like a nice salad or something along the side as well. I just think it gives such a nice freshness, creaminess, and I think also I believe it's traditionally sort of prepared with some yogurt on the side as well. So that's what I'll be having today for my lunch. So I'm very much looking forward to it because it's smelling very nice as it's cooking away. So I'll just soak my rice now. Okay, so this has been cooking on that low heat with the lid on for 20 minutes. So let's see how it is getting on. Smells lovely for a start. Let's give it a little mix just to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom, which it's not. There's still a little bit of water in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do just to sort of help the water get released a little bit more, any more water that might be in the aubergine, and to start giving it a little form, is just to kind of start breaking them down with my spoon. You still want to have the aubergine in sort of little pieces just for some texture, but it sort of will just help the cooking process and just sort of give it a head start to the form that we would like for this aubergine curry. It smells lovely and it is nice and soft. It's breaking with my spoon nicely. So I've now broken the aubergine enough for the sort of form that I'd want at this stage, but I am going to continue cooking it for another 10 minutes with that lid on, so I'm just going to do that now. Okay, so the aubergine has now been cooking for a total of 40 minutes. So we started off cooking it for 20 minutes and then we lifted the lid off and sort of broke it down a little bit, and then it cooked for a further 20 minutes to get to this point. So I'm just going to now check how it is getting on, and hopefully it's nearly ready. So just take the lid off now. Smells lovely. Okay, so the water has reduced quite nicely from what I can see, and there's still a little bit of water, which is fine. I'm just going to break it down just a little bit more, just to give it the form that I want, but I think it's nearly done anyway. So it's quite nice, I think, because we're having this with rice, just to leave it with a little bit of water, just so that the rice has something nice to absorb into. And I just sort of think it gives it a nice sort of bit of flavour, but I guess it's entirely up to you, but I think this is nice not to be completely dry. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more of a tap, and I think now actually I will add the last sort of garnish ingredients, and we'll also let this then cook, rest for about 5 to 10 minutes with the heat off. So that will be the next bit. I think I'm quite happy with that. So let's add the powdered Garam Masala. So the heat's off now. And add the important green chilies. Nice little bit of crunch and heat. And I've got the coriander here as well. Okay, so as I just said, the heat is now off, and I'm now just going to let this rest for about 5 to 10 minutes with the lid on, and then it should be ready. And in the meantime, I'll just quickly prepare some rice. So it's 10 minutes later, and I'm just going to have a look how it's rested. Oh, it smells amazing. Have a little look. And I guess we'll now be giving it a nice try. Okay, so the best bit of the video is now here. The most enjoyable bit for us anyway. So it's time to try. I have got some rice, some aubergine, and most importantly that yoghurt as well, just for that hint of freshness. Would you put some lime on it?
Yeah, a tiny bit would be nice.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay. Do you dig it?
So, the way it's eaten traditionally, this form of aubergine is you don't really mix the rice and aubergine and everything before you take a bite. What you do is you create a layer with some rice, some aubergine like this, and you pick some yogurt. So not mixed together, but all three in a spoon. It's very nice.
Oh, that's good. That is comforting and refreshing. That's lovely. Nice bit of sort of background spice as well. And it's all about that aubergine really, because you've got a plain rice. It just kind of complements it, doesn't it? You kind of really appreciate that aubergine.
Some salad on the side. We've made cucumber salad, so
it's
that
nice
goes
to do
nice. Yeah.
a salad for a bit of texture.
But it tastes so nice on its own.
This is lovely, absolutely. So this is a really good vegetarian recipe. Of course, if you're vegan, you don't have to have the yogurt, or you could find something as a supplement for it. So this is quite a good one, you know, if you don't eat meat in particular. But it's lovely. It's lovely anyway, really, isn't it? Good. So we really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and we hope that you make this this aubergine curry. Do check out our social media, as we've got a lot going on, and lots of images and all sorts of interesting things going on really. So that's on our Instagram, or you can check out our website as well, which is www.spicyqissah.co.uk. You can also follow us on Facebook as well if you wish. So I think we will leave it there today. Enjoy the rest of this, and we'll see you again next time. Take care and goodbye for now.
Bye.